Hello, everybody. How are you? I am Artia Lewis, and I am a friend of Chelsea's. So I wanted to come and share a testimony with you tonight/today, whatever time she posts the video. So I am 36 years old, and I struggle with anxiety and depression. Now, it started at the age of 15. I lost my grandmother, and it was very traumatic for me. I started to have panic attacks, and I started going into a deep depression caused by the trauma of losing my grandmother. At the age of 15, I had to see a counselor. I could not go to school for more than an hour and a half at a time because the anxiety was so intrusive and the thoughts were just so overwhelming, and I didn't quite know how to deal with what I was experiencing. I couldn't focus, let alone sit still to stay in school. I'm sorry, guys, if you hear that noise, it's my fan. I'm gonna turn it down a little bit so it won't be so loud. But yeah, so from 15 to 17 is when I saw the real start of the anxiety and depression that I had. That was very deep down, but until trauma hits you and your body responds the best way it knows how, which mine was in the form of anxiety and depression, you don't know what you're dealing with. Now flash forward to 23, I got pregnant with my daughter, and I went through postpartum depression. So not only did I have depression after I had her, I had it the whole entire pregnancy. I was 23, it was unplanned, and I just felt like my life was over. Like, what am I gonna do with a baby? I can't do what I wanna do no more. It's not gonna be all about me. It's gonna be all about her. It's her first, then me. And at 23, I was selfish. I'm not even gonna lie. I was selfish. I didn't wanna think about having a baby. I didn't want nobody to come before me. It was always me. You know, when you're younger and you have siblings, you share the spotlight with your sibling. So I finally felt like I was grown on my own, working. It's all about me. It's about what Artia wants to do. But no, God had other plans. So during the whole pregnancy, I cried. I suffered from depression, and boom, I have her. My daughter was born April 1st. And when I say the anxiety and depression went from like a 6 to a 30, no exaggeration, a 6 to a 30. My very first night when I had her, I cried. Now this video might be long, but I promise you it's gonna inspire you, and this is my truth and this is my testimony. The very first night in the hospital, I asked the nurse to take her to the nursery, and I cried. And I just cried, and I said, Lord, what am I gonna do? Like, if this man leave me, or if this man decide he don't want to be a part of our lives anymore, this baby is mine for 18 years. They don't call dads when something goes wrong with your kids. They call moms, unless the mom is not present, as in deceased, or the mom is just out of the picture. The only two scenarios that if something happens, they call the dad. But other than that, it's mom. Mom is the first emergency contact. And I'm sure that you can agree with me, ladies, if you're watching. And men, if you watch this also, I know you can agree with me. It's always mom. So life set in for me real quick, okay? Real quick. And I let myself go. I gained almost 100 pounds, you might as well say. I stopped taking care of me. I stopped doing my hair. I stopped taking showers regularly. I stopped doing hygiene, brushing my teeth, washing my clothes, cleaning my house. It was to a point where I was leaving my daughter by herself. I wanted to eat. My addiction at that time was food. Food was my comfort. So whatever I could do to get my hands on food or money, honey, I did it, okay? Not in that way. I never went to the extreme. I was panhandling for money, and I had a very good job Trust me, I had a very good job. I worked at a hospital. I'm still currently a certified medical assistant, but my mental health wasn't in the right place at the time. So when I tell you I would get paid on a Friday and by Saturday night, I'm literally flat broke, that's no joke. I would spend all of my money on food and whatever it would be, rides to where I needed to go. I would carry bags. You know how you carry a big duffel bag, like a gym bag? I would carry bags like that full of food wherever I went because the anxiety was so raging. I'm sorry, that's not a word. The anxiety was so pungent at the time. I had to have it. I had to have food around me because I just couldn't get a hang of what was going on with me. I didn't try to go see what was wrong with me. I didn't tell my doctor. I didn't seek therapy at the time. I knew something was wrong. I just wasn't ready to address it. Now flash forward a little bit, about 6 months. I ended up losing my job. They fired me because I did a no call, no show. And I honestly can't even remember why I did the no call, no show. I think because I was hungry and I didn't have food. And I knew if I went to work, I wasn't going to have any money to get food. So I didn't go to work. And they sent me a certified letter in the mail. I never forget. The mail person knocked on my door, handed me the letter. I'm thinking, like, what is this? And the name of the hospital where I worked was on it. And it clicked. Oh my God, you did not call off today. You just did not show. Which actually proves that they were just waiting for one thing to go wrong and it was my time to go. But they had to have one more thing and that was it. So I got fired. Initially, after me getting fired, I obviously lost my place. I got evicted. My car got repossessed. And I didn't have nowhere to go. So now, boom, flash forward. My daughter's father and I were together, but due to the postpartum depression, he did not know how to handle everything that was going on with me. So he left. And he still was present in his daughter's life, but not present for me. And life goes on, right? We have to move forward. We have to keep living. So it was a blow, don't get me wrong, but not as hard of a hit as the postpartum depression was still raging in my life. So I had to move in with my mom. Me and my mom were not getting along at that time. She was not agreeing with my lifestyle, which I can understand, especially by this time my daughter was a couple of months, near a year old. Not having a newborn baby, but having a toddler. She knew something was wrong. But nobody in my family ever told me about postpartum depression. So I felt crazy when everybody else had experienced what I had been through. Even my mom. Nobody explained to me what postpartum depression was until I came out of it. At the very end, when I got delivered, healed, and set free, that's when they told me. And do you know how mad I was? I sat there and I just stared like, I know y'all fucking lying. I'm sorry. I know y'all lying because you wait till I come out of my situation, of my dark place, to tell me I'm not crazy. You went through the same thing and it's a perfectly normal thing. So I sat there like, why did y'all just like shun me so long? Why didn't you let me know? And I'm speaking on this because there may be a young woman who's watching this and is going through postpartum depression. You're not alone. You're looking at a woman who literally went through for 6 years. 6 years. I went through postpartum depression. 6 long years of valleys, deserts, dry bone season, all of that. Rain, thunder, snow, storms, tsunamis, hurricanes, typhoons, natural disaster. I went through all of it. Ups, lows, downs, all of the above. Anything you could imagine. I went through it. But until I was tired and ready to surrender and really ready to give my life over to God and say, Lord, I can't deal with this no more. I cannot make it another day. I did not take any medication. When I finally decided to get help, my doctor wanted me to start on some antidepressants. I told him no. I didn't. I found a therapist, never went. But it wasn't until a cold day in the wintertime where I really was at my wit's end and I was just ready to give up. And I surrendered to God and I gave everything over to Him. That's the day I was set free. And instantly it just felt like a weight was lifted off of my shoulders. Instantly. I could breathe. I thought about other things besides food. And coming from 6 years, that's all you think about? In the snap of a finger, it was gone. Now, I don't know about you, but I love me some Jesus. I am a firm believer. I'm actually going to attach my Facebook profile so you can see before pictures of me before I had my daughter. You can see pictures of me after I had my daughter, and you can see me now. My complexion was so dark. I was so heavy, the heaviest I had ever been in my entire life. I was unhappy. I was not motivated. I was not present. I was here, but I wasn't present. I was living, but I was existing, but I was not living until I finally gave it over to God. And once I did, I found my purpose, which is to tell my testimony and to tell my story to other women and or men. If you're having some sort of mental health instability or any type of issues, it is okay to not be okay. You do not have to go through alone. You are not the only one in this world who is going through something or has gone through anything. You are not alone. Not at all. If I can make it, so can you. And I went through it for 6 whole years. No medication, no therapy, no nothing, just Jesus. He is who delivered me and truly set me free. And now I'm able to run a nonprofit organization specifically dedicated to my ministry, which is helping women who suffer from postpartum depression. My Facebook support group is Surviving Postpartum Depression with No Boundaries. So if you're on Facebook and you want to look me up, or if you want to look up my group, that was just the name. And my name is Artia Lewis, Artia Lewis. You can look me up, and I post daily. I post inspirational quotes. I post daily. I'm very active in the groups. This is so near and dear to me because that was me. I was that woman. And don't get me wrong, I still struggle to this day, but it is nothing like what I went through before. God has made me a brand new creature, literally, right before your eyes. If you look at those pictures, you will not believe I am the same woman. And hell, sometimes I look at him and I don't believe in myself, but thank God I don't look like what I've been through. So this is my testimony. This is my story. This is what I've been through in life. And there is so much more to come. And I just want to say I am grateful for the opportunity to be able to minister and give my testimony and to let everybody know that if God did it for me, He can do it for you. If He did it for the person before me, I knew He could do it for me. If He did it for the person before her, before him, before him, before her, God is the same today, yesterday, and forevermore. So do not forget, He still loves you. He sees you in your darkest moments. He sees you where you are now. Trouble will not last always. There is light at the end of that dark tunnel. If it takes a while, just be patient. It's going to get better. I am proof to that. So I want to thank you guys for spending time and listening to my testimony and my story. My daughter is currently 13 years old, going to the 8th grade, and I'm 36. And that is my story of how I struggled from 23 years old. Starting at 15, recurring again at 23 to 29. And this is my story of how I came out, I overcame, I've been healed, set free, and delivered. I love you. Thank you for listening to me. Peace and much love.